How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and it looks like the PS Portal just took another blow, and Digital Foundry came out with their video and completely and utterly smacked it down to the ground. And it does seem like maybe the actual PS fans have been lying to us all along. I mean, I don't know. Based on what Digital Foundry here is saying, which is logical because that is basically how tech works, it's kind of, it doesn't match up. It doesn't add up. And what the PlayStation fans have been doing is basically trying to say that the impossible has been possible when it really can't do that. But, we're going to listen to a 4-minute script that was taken from the video, which basically covers the pros and the negatives. And as you can see here, I posted what's interesting at J-Rock Colt Eastwood is that Digital Foundry is saying, get out your house and the quality degrades really hard. Are these fanboys just going in a different room and saying that they're across state? Because that's what it sounds like, right? That's what it sounds like. And you can see J-Rock here says, Digital Foundry PlayStation Portal review, a disappointing device. So let's just listen to what he has to say. I may talk over a little bit, but let's just listen to what he has to say and go from there. But if you do find this video useful, informative, do consider leaving a like. We are looking for 350 likes for this video. If you are new to the channel or a returning viewer who is enjoying the content, do consider leaving a sub. It really helps the channel grow. We are trying to hit 6,000 subs and of course by Christmas, 7.5k. So any help to get to that goal is appreciated. Of course, if you want to support me further, you can do that through my Patreon, YouTube members, and of course the super thanks. But simply a like and a subscribe is free and is the easiest way to support what I do here, because it does help me get future opportunities, be it just through early access to certain games that I can preview or just through sponsorships. And it really does support the channel, especially with the amount of times YouTube is demonetizing or just doing their usual stuff that is annoying as hell. So thank you so much. On with the actual video.
And so let's try to sum everything up after all of that, which is to say that, well, PlayStation Portal, it's a nicely presented remote play device, but at the heart of it, it is still using remote play. And in that sense, I can't help but feel a bit disappointed. Let's talk positives first. The full DualSense experience does set this apart from other remote play experiences. The haptics are just as good as the standard controller, as are the adaptive triggers. And that's because it is a DualSense controller, basically. Screen is an OLED loveliness, but I have few complaints with it as LCDs go. It's bright, it's vibrant, it's attractive. But, well, there are issues here, and maybe they'll matter to you, maybe they won't. But let's get into it. Even in best case scenarios, there seem to be frame dropping issues on the device. There are some problems with image quality, even in the best case scenarios. Even though I would say that when it is working, it's not bad. The lag is going to be an issue if you are sensitive to it. It essentially takes us back to the days before game mode or low latency mode was a thing on living room screens. There's also limitations in use case scenarios to consider. The Portal is...
Do you remember how people were saying that there's no lag and we were telling them that there's lag? We could see that there was lag and they were saying, no, there isn't any lag, but there was lag because you can see it. And they were trying to feign ignorance. Well, here's definitive proof that there is lag.
It's all about taking PlayStation 5 gaming away from the living room display, but to keep image quality up and latency as low as it will go, you kind of need to be in the vicinity of your router, which in turn should be wired up to your PlayStation 5, which means that the console in turn needs to be within close proximity to your router.
So how are people going across state lines and remote playing in? And saying that they have no issues, no artifacting, no latency, no nothing. So are they chatting a whole bunch of crap just so they can promote this device? Are these shields getting paid by Sony to promote the PlayStation Portal? Is that what's happening here? Do you remember how back in the day, just because people had a dinner with Microsoft execs and they were being called out, saying that, they were paid to be there? So if what Digital Foundry here is saying is true, are these PlayStation fans actually, getting paid to do this? To, promote it, to say nice things about it? Are they getting freebies from Sony? At this point, I actually want to get one just to try it myself, just to prove it. Nah, it's 200 quid. I'm not going to do that. But hey, if you guys want to donate some stuff, I'll definitely pick one up and go through the trouble for you.
I can't help but think that a direct connection mode could have cut out the middleman and ensured you wouldn't have needed to attach it to the router at all. This may of course limit actual online connectivity for the console, mind you, as the PlayStation 5 would still need some sort of connection to the internet for downloading, multiplayer, that sort of thing. But again, that highlights that remote play was never really designed for a bespoke peripheral like the PlayStation Portal. It was always a value-added feature. We know that second screen gaming can be faster and more responsive because, well, crushingly, the Wii U gamepad did it 11 years ago. And yeah, while the stream there was 480p, it's pretty much pristine. Almost.
Oh, damn. Oh, shit. They're trying to say the Wii U was actually a better device. The Wii U pad is a better device. Oh, my God.
Native quality, I'd say, something that the PlayStation Portal doesn't quite pull off. Yes, it's pushing a higher resolution, but you know, in 11 years, Wi-Fi protocols have evolved significantly. I can't help but feel that the Portal should be giving the user more information on the quality of the experience, along with tools to improve it. The whole system is built around the concept of plug and play, that your Wi-Fi setup is automatically good enough. And well, I'd say that there's no guarantee of that at all. Other things I'd like to see. First of all, the Portal should support cloud streaming. It's a no-brainer and would add a bit more value to the rather expensive top-tier PlayStation Plus subscription tier.
Now, this over here, they could pretty much just add a option that immediately just goes to the catalog and allows you to see it. A completely customized browser that could block everything else out, and they could really try to lock it down. The danger here for Sony is, of course, those that are going to hack it are going to open it up to GeForce Now and Microsoft xCloud. And that is what the fear is right now. And that is what Sony, I assume, does not want to happen. Because if they open it up to xCloud, that means that device just becomes, you know, a Logitech G Cloud essentially, and can just play anything at that point with its cloud. It basically, you're buying a £200 device that at that point may actually be worthwhile picking up because it can play all cloud games. It's a proper cloud machine. So, but obviously that means that if you're subscribing to Game Pass and getting those games on Xbox, Sony's losing money on those game sales on their store.
Why it isn't doing this out of the box, I don't know. It's just baffling.
I mean, obviously,
the Portal
what I said.
also blocks attempts to stream games from the cloud via the console, which, bearing in mind, would result in 2 sets of lag and image quality reductions. Probably a good thing. Secondly,
so what it's talking about there is that currently with the remote play, you're actually losing frames. You're not getting the same representation as you are on the console. Now, of course, if you are getting that just for the remote play, well, if you're adding a stream on top of a stream for it to be streamed to you, you're going to be losing even more frames because that's just, you know, that's just tech. That's how it works. And you can't avoid that. So what you're saying is, though it should be there out of the box, it could be giving you enough of a degraded picture to actually not be worth it.
A non-streaming mode that simply allows the Portal to act like another DualSense controller. I think this would be extremely useful. After all, you've basically bought a highly expensive extra joypad. Why not be able to use it as a standard controller as well as a streamer? Finally, well, look, the dream would be to emulate prior Sony handhelds on this thing, and maybe the PlayStation 1 as well. You know, actual fan service.
Man, could you imagine the
So that's the PlayStation Portal then. I've spent a lot of time with this one in search of a spark of genius, I guess, that sets it apart from standard remote play. But the only difference really comes from the form factor and the screen. I don't have too much of an issue with the price point because nobody's really been able to bring in a streaming device that's that much cheaper. But it's fair to say that...
But this isn't really a streaming device, is it? It's a remote play device, so it is different. It is not the same as a Logitech G Cloud, which not only has Android capabilities of playing Android games, albeit, you know, not the strongest games, but it can run some Android games, but also it's got the capability of being a full-on cloud-enabled device. The Portal is not that device. The Portal is only remote play, so keeping the cost down a little more than the G Cloud, I think, is the bare minimum they could do.
Sony could have delivered a whole lot more in terms of features, but just didn't.
And that's it. That's really it. Sony could have turned this into something special. But as we know with the PSP, they abandoned the platform and got ridiculed for it. Then they released the Vita, and then they abandoned the platform and got ridiculed for it. Then they released the PSVR, which they abandoned and got ridiculed for it. When I say abandoned, they just don't release first-party games. If they're not going to release first-party games, third-party games are going to stop as well. You got the PSVR too. Outside of Call of the Mountain, where's the first-party games? I mean, I get the add-ons. I'm not even going to count the add-ons. Solid first-party outings. Where are they? There is none. And it looks like Sony has already forgotten about the PSVR 2 already. So when it comes to the PS Portal, had they have done anything like that, tried to add capabilities or new features or abilities to play games, that would mean that they would have to support this actually, with some effort. In its current state, it's just a remote play device, so it's a win-win situation. They don't have to support it and can turn around and say, happy days, it's successful and we don't have to do anything because people would just buy anything with a PlayStation logo. Well, everyone, that's it. That's the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. It does look like the fans may have been misleading everyone. Again, I don't have one. I did reach out to Sony to get one to test myself, and they turned me down for reasons I said before, due to my the channel size. And this is why it's really important that if you are enjoying the content, to leave that subscribe, because it really helps with getting these opportunities on this channel where I can test things out properly and provide you all with an accurate, representation. Don't forget to leave a like, because if you've enjoyed it, why not? And we have got a 350 like challenge, so it all goes in that favor. If you want to support me further in what I do, you can do that through Super Thanks, my Patreon, or my YouTube membership. That is the video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you in the next one. Remain legend.